What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for a throwback into a throwback of throwbacks. Welcome back, Marvel Mondays.
Brought to you by the Distorted Theorists.
You don't need it. You know, you already came to the channel. You know who we are.
Peter, it's been a minute since we did some Marvel
It's been
Mondays.
2 years.
About that.
Damn.
But before we get into the new revamp, new mic, new outfits, new dress code, as always, if you want to support the channel, we do appreciate it if you would just take 1 second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Peter, Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is easily, besides Spider-Man, my favorite franchise, because I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's in my top 3.
When they... So I remember going to see Avengers.
Yep.
Did you come see Avengers with...
Well, the channel wasn't even incepted at this point.
No, it wasn't. But I can't remember. Did you come with the crew?
I feel like I would have.
I can't remember. Anyways, one of the people that was in our group at the time, when they showed Thanos at the end of Avengers, everyone lost their minds. And I was like, what's Thanos? And then he turned to me, Pat, if you're watching this, he turned to me and he went, Guardians of the Galaxy. And I went, oh, what are they?
Well, I think
so. I didn't know anything about the Guardians, and then they're like, they're gonna cast this relative unknown at the time, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
We knew Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
And
then, well, you had
Batista.
Well, which I would be more familiar with, being a wrestling fan. Then we had Bradley Cooper as Rocket and Vin Diesel as Groot. And you were like, hold up.
And was it Lee Pace as the villain who was really not a villain? Was it Lee Pace?
I can't remember. You mean Ronan?
Yeah, Ronan the Destroyer. Was it
Accuser? Get your facts straight. This is the reason why we go back on Marvel Mondays and revisit some classic films.
Why do I get this wrong?
But yeah, you're right. Guardians of the Galaxy was completely unknown, but I guarantee you when we left that theater, we were like, I need some more of that.
Well, that was the thing. And the shtick of Peter Quill is like we find out in the movie, like he's Earthling or Terran, but he's still tied to Earth in some small ways. Now, the way that this was, I don't know what the comics are like regarding this, but the easiest way that James Gunn, visionary, that did this was through music, and what is easily one of, if not the best soundtrack.
Oh, so good
across all of them.
We always keep forgetting. You know, this is the Marvel Mondays. We're throwing it back to what we didn't know, but we know now. Is this was our true first look at a actual Infinity Stone.
Yes. The
first one, the Power Stone. But you know what, Peter?
Through Benicio del Toro, the Collector.
You know what? I don't want to wait any longer.
We should get
Let's get into the trailer review, reaction, breakdown.
Yeah, I guess. We know what the movie is.
Of Guardians of the Galaxy right now.
Come from Earth, a planet of outlaws.
Christ. Come on, man.
My name is Peter Quill. There's one other name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Who?
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Guys, forget it.
Just his gadgets and stuff too.
Yes,
really
and
cool
they were implemented so well with the visual effects. Spirit this guy is so good. Oh, and the Milano.
So here we are. A thief, 2 thugs, an assassin, and a maniac.
But
we're not going to
even
stand
though
by
Rocket
as
is
evil wipes out the
and
galaxy.
that prison escape is still some of the best
cinematic
names.
partners.
Are you telling me the fate of 12 billion people is in the hands of these criminals?
They had a big cast for this.
They did.
But James
Gunn knows how to cast. And he shows all of his cast members his vision.
I'm going to get me. What are these things? I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
Listen, Ronan the Accuser was actually a dope bad guy. He never got the exposure. Yeah, exactly.
It's giving us a chance.
And that was the big thing. It was like the family. It was the first team besides the Avengers.
What the hell? I don't got that long a lifespan anyway.
They spared no expense on this one.
I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Ain't no thing like me, said
Rock
me.
was so fucking
They
good.
call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. This might not be the best idea.
I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like I said, 2014, not 11 years ago.
11 years ago. Wow.
And there was just so much that came out of this, which again, like we saw the first Infinity Stone, which was obviously where people were able to speculate the movies were going to go from the Thanos being shown, because obviously they're like, if they're Thanos, we're going to have the Infinity Gauntlet.
And they actually name dropped this a bit more because Zoe Saldana's character was Gamora, was the daughter of Thanos, so that connection was
the deadliest woman in the galaxy.
Yeah, it was just kind of giving some exposition on a villain that, well, you knew very little about. Kind of, it was very teased, but now you're like getting, oh, he has family. Oh, there's these stones that are being collected. What's going? And like for me, I had never heard of Infinity War or the Infinity Gauntlet or whatever.
I knew of it, but I just didn't know what it
I
was.
didn't either. I didn't know at all. So I was learning firsthand, and Guardians being my first introduction to like an Infinity Stone. What is that? You know what I mean? As where, like you said, your buddy knew.
Like, oh my God, it's happening. I was
right?
like, what's happening?
But what do you think ultimately made the Guardians of the Galaxy work?
The teamwork aspect. It was, again, that simple thing of you get to meet the characters very quickly and realize, but it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
You get the lovable rogue, you get the Chewbacca, you get the R2, you've got the plucky, like, I don't know, isn't it like they're basically Drax.
yeah.
And they come together, and so these different characters that normally wouldn't mesh together, and then they do against all odds against the common enemy, Ronan, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And that's why it worked so well, and that's why Star
Great
Wars
analogy,
works so
by the way.
well.
If anyone's watching, that was spot on.
Wasn't it? Yeah. But the whole family aspect and the emotions of like, you've got your problems, we're all misfits, but we came together to become a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
And then again, the casting worked so well.
Yeah.
From James Gunn and his casting directors, the music top notch, the visuals blew me away because
color
everything
palettes,
was VFX.
everything, yeah.
Yeah. And like it was Easter eggs, because James Gunn likes to put Easter eggs in his movies, so people got to see Howard the Duck. I think Cosmo.
I think he was in the second one. I don't think he was in the first one. She. Sorry.
And if I remember correctly, I'm not sure if it was Guardians 1 or one of the other ones, but wasn't one of the Nova Corps, or was it one of the Ravagers that ended up being one of the main characters in the Eternals? Because this is her second role.
That was no. I think that was from Captain Marvel. She played.
Yes.
But
she was,
I digress. This movie, in a lot of ways, I think paved the way for movies like Captain Marvel, etc., because this was our first real venture into the cosmos. We know Tony's seen it in Avengers when he entered the portal.
But now we get to see planets, moons, a giant celestial head of nowhere. And
But I do find it a little funny how this movie works so well. Like you said, being introduced to characters so quickly, the Avengers took multiple movies to bring those people together. As where but these were thrown at us as seemingly unknown characters to some of us.
And that was the
but
big
we
gamble.
accepted it. We learned quickly. You had to keep up with this movie, but you were never felt like I'm missing anything. Everything was it was laid out for you.
And they didn't even show the Ravagers. We didn't get to see what's his name, Yondu. We didn't see
don't even
him
think
at
he was
all
in that trailer.
That's what I mean. Right. Or Kraglin.
Yeah, so I mean, there was like pieces that they hid from us that again. There was a lot of characters in this movie that you had to learn
And the
quickly.
humor was so good. Like when Yondu was in the, not the collector, but like the jewelers, and he keeps talking like, this is and it's just these little jokes that were so well done, and it flowed well, and
I honestly got no complaints. It's in my top 3.
yeah, it's not the perfect movie because, as we know, we went obviously to Guardians 2 and Guardians 3, and I still think Guardians 3 has the better story in terms of heart-wrenching, but in terms of introduction, like Guardians.
I don't think you could, I honestly think, and please let us know in the comments your thoughts, but I don't think there is a better introductory movie in the MCU, possibly, in my opinion.
Spider-Man.
But he was introduced in something to come later on Marvel
Right,
Mondays.
and that was perfect. When they showed him in Civil War, like, under ooze, and he just comes in.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Here, Guardians of the Galaxy today.
Spider-Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our trailer reaction review, discussion, and breakdown of Marvel Mondays, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was so good to go 11 years back in time and refresh sometimes on what we seen then. We know now, we didn't know then. It's cool looking back. As always, if you want to support the channel and support Marvel Mondays, as always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and, well, leave us a comment down below. How did you enjoy being introduced to Guardians of the Galaxy? Is it still in one of your favorite MCU films of all time? And where does the Guardians of the Galaxy go from here?
I know, but anyways.
With that, I am the real Jussy.
And I am Groot, and like we always say around here,
Keep it real.